Let's get started on page 10. ידי נפש עם הרחמה משוך עבדה אל רצונה ירוץ עבדך כמו איה ישתחווה נחמן ליבי הוא שנה ואל תתעלם יגלנה וברוס חביב עליי אין סוכן שלא מה תאיר ארץ מכבודה נגילה ונשמחה בה מהר ההוא כי בא מועד לחונני כי מעולם יאנה ניי ניי יאנה ניי 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 יאנה ניי יאנה ניי יאנה ניי יאנה ניי ניי יאנה ניי 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 יאנה ניי oh יאנה ניי יאנה ניי ניי יאנה ניי ניי יאנה ניי oh יאנה ניי ניי יאנה ניי יאנה ניי יאנה ניי ניי oh
Shabbat Shalom and welcome everybody.
Shalom.
Welcome especially to our honored guest, Rabbi Ed Feinstein, who's going to be with us for this Shabbat. We are so glad to have you. I was in a school play when I was in the first grade. It was a play version of Shel Silverstein's story of I'm Looking for My Missing Piece. As I remember it, I think I was a ladybug and I got stage fright at the last minute and refused to go out. I'm not sure if that's the exact right story. My parents can confirm. But I do have a fondness for that story, even despite the traumatic memory it's associated with from early childhood. Aren't we all looking for our missing piece? That piece in us that feels a little empty, a little broken, needing a little bit of love. We say that on Shabbat we get an extra measure of soul. We come together and for these 25 hours we fill up a little bit the missing piece in us. We find space in us for a little more light, for a little bit more joy, for a little bit more connection, for a little bit more healing. Our job at the start of this service is to find the space that needs to be filled, to look deep inside and to set a kavanah, to set an intention for this Shabbat, and then we go on a journey together, and we try to heal, and we try to connect, and we try to celebrate together. We're going to sing our way through the week, beginning on page 11, L'chu Neranena.
Repeat after me. L'chu Neranena L'Adonai Nariya L'tzu yishenu Nekadma fanav Betoda Vizmirot Nariya lo L'chu Neranena L'Adonai Nariya l'tzu yishenu Nekadma fanav Betoda Vizmirot Nariya lo L'chu Neranena L'Adonai Nariya l'tzu yishenu Nekadma fanav Betoda Vizmirot Nariya lo Ki gadol Adonai Umelech gadol al kol Elohim Asher biyado mekari haaretz v'to'afot harim lo. I like singing. You can sing it with me. Asher lo hayam ve'asahu ve'abesh et yadav yatzaru bo nishtachave v'nikra nivracha livnei Adonai Yoseinu. L'chu Neranena L'Adonai Nariya l'tzu yishenu Nekadma fanav Betoda Vizmirot Nariya lo L'chu Neranena L'Adonai Nariya l'tzu yishenu nekad mafana betoda. Bizmi rot navi alo. Ki hu Eloheinu, v'anachnu amarito v'tzon yado. Hayom be'im bekolot tishma'u, al takshu levavchem kimriva, ki yom asa bamidbar, asher nisuni avotechem, bechanuni gam ra'ofali. Lechu ne'ranin al Adonai, na'avia letzu yishenu, nekad mafana betoda, bizmi rot na'avia lo. Lechu ne'ranin al Adonai, na'avia letzu yishenu, nekad mafana betoda, bizmi rot na'avia lo. Repeat after me. Arbaim shana, akul bedor, ha'omar, am toy levav hem, vehem lo yadeu, derachai. Together we'll do this line. Asher nishbati vapi, im yeva'on al manuchati. Turn to page 13. Shiru l'Adonai. Shiru l'Adonai, kol ha'aretz. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai, kol ha'aretz. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai, kol ha'aretz. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. On page 14, 6 lines from the bottom, we read these words, Ya'alo Sadai, the meadow will exult, V'chol asher bo, and everything that's in it. As then, Yiranenu, Kol atzei Ya'ar, even the trees of the forest will joyously sing to God. Let's sing that. Ya'alo Sadai, V'chol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 Ya'alo Sadai, V'chol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 ay. Next part. As Yiranenu, Kol atzei Ya'ar, as Yiranenu, Kol atzei Ya'ar, as Yiranenu, Kol atzei Ya'ar. Ya'alo Sadai, V'chol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 Ya'alo Sadai, V'chol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 ay. Let's do this just as last line. You're going to repeat after me. Lifnei Adonai kiva, kiva lishpot haaretz. Let's do this together. Yishpot tevel v'tzedek, v'amin v'emunato.
We're up to page 17. We're going to be starting Psalm 98. We are meant to be making our way mentally through the week, casting our mind back all the way as far as Sunday. Can you remember Sunday? I'm not sure I can remember Sunday, but trying to find from each day of the week a moment of joy, a moment, a little triumph, maybe something that didn't go so well, but it's time to set aside We are, I believe, up to Wednesday at this point. So keep making your way through with us.
Psalm 98 is on page 17. שיבו לאדוני שיר חדש כי נפלאות עשה הושיע לו ימינו וזרוע קודשו הודיע אדוני ישועתו לעיני הגויים גילה צדקתו זכר חסדו ראו כל אפסי הארץ את ישועת אלוהינו הריעו לאדוני כל הארץ פיצחו ורננו וזמרו זמרו לאדוני בחינו בקול זמרה בחצוצרות בקול שופר ריעו לפני אדוני ירם הים ומלוא תבל ויושבי בה נהרות ימחאו חם יחד הרים ירננו לפני אדוני קיבה לשפוט הארץ ישפוט טבע Yo, ya nai nai nai. Yo, ya nai nai nai. Ya nai 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 nai.
Page 21, rise, a psalm for David. Acclaim Adonai, children of the divine. Acclaim Adonai with honor and with strength. Don't sit down yet. L'chadodi is a song of greeting. We are greeting Shabbat, personified as a bride, as a lover, as a queen. But the truth is we can't see her with our eyes open. We can only see her with our eyes closed. But looking around, there are lots of faces that you can see with your eyes open. So before we greet the one who we can only see in our heart, let's take just a moment to turn to the people around you and greet and especially welcome those who are new to our community, those who are visiting. Welcome them.
We're going to come together for Lecha Dodi. On page 23, we'll do the first two and the last two verses. I did this melody today at TVT, and the kids were screaming their heads off. Hum diddy dum diddy Lecha Dodi. Hum diddy dum diddy likrat kala. Hum diddy dum diddy penei Shabbat. Mekabel. Loud, do it faster. Hum diddy dum diddy Lecha Dodi. Hum diddy dum diddy likrat kala. Hum diddy dum diddy penei Shabbat. Mekabela. Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat. Mekabela. Shamor bezachor bediborecha nishmianu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'Shem tiferet ve'nitila. Here we go. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat mekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nerchaki mikol haveracha. Merosh mikedem ne'esucha. Sof ma'aseh v'machshava tehila. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Hum diddy dum diddy Lecha Dodi. Hum diddy dum diddy likrat kala. Hum diddy dum diddy Penei Shabbat nekabela. We're going to turn to page 25 and do the last two verses. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Yamin u'smol, Yamim u'smol, tifrotzi ve'etz Adonai tamitzi al yad ish ben שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך עמודי עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
You can take your seats. Both of those melodies, by the way, come from Josh Warshowski, who is going to be with us in just 2 weeks. We have another Shabbaton with another special guest in just 2 weeks. So you can hear Josh, who's composed those and many other gorgeous, gorgeous melodies here for Shabbos services Friday night and Saturday and a concert on Saturday night. A lot going on here in our community. Page 27.
מזמור שיר יום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני מזמור שיר יום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות צדיק אתה מה יפרח כארז בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינובון בשיבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני זוהי ולא עוולת בו.
Invite those who are remembering a loved one to rise for Kaddish on page 30. In particular, continuing to send a lot of love to Michael and to the whole Adler family as you are remembering your mom, Marcia. For all of us who are remembering together, we join on page 30. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbi.
Amen.
B'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitermam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Damiram bi'alma v'yimru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru. Amen. May all of their memories be for a blessing. We transition to the Mariv service, the second piece of our Friday evening service on page 39. We rise for Baruch Hu.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בדברו מעריב הרבה מחוכמה וכישרים ובתבונה מסנן עתים ומחליף אז פסעתי את כוכבים ומשועתים ברקיע אצלנו בביום בלילה קוראים לרבי החושך וקושק בידינו ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המריב הרבי.
Page 40.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך, לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגן יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וגשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. שמעו תשמעו מצוותיי אשר אנוכי מצווה אתכם היום ולבד. Adonai Elohechem Amen. God places us among the living, not allowing our steps to fall, to leads us past the faultless altars of our enemies, exalting us above all those who hate us and pushed us. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם, משה מרים ובני ישראל לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. Repeat after me. נורא תהילות עושה ולב מלכותך ובניך בוקע ים לפני משה, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Hashkivenu is a prayer for peace. I got a call this afternoon from a mom in our community whose elementary school student came home and told her that anti-Semitic graffiti had been found in her classroom. And she said, "Mom, do I go to school with Nazis?" And this mom called me in tears today and she said, "What do I tell my kid? What do I tell my kid to make her feel safe?" And I don't have the answer. I don't have it. Maybe when I'm, the wise rabbi sitting over there. I'm still working on the answers. So what I said to her was, I said, you tell her that there are so many people who love her. You tell her that there are so many people who are committed to keeping her safe. And you and your husband are two among them, but her teacher and her principal and her rabbis and her synagogue and all of her family and all of her friends are all there to watch out. We can't keep our kids perfectly safe. We can't keep ourselves perfectly safe. But we can lean into love and we can pray for peace. Hashkivenu is on page 45.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Ushmot tzitzeinu umoreinu lechaim mi'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Baruch atah Adonai Haborei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Amo Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Please rise, page 46, V'shamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועמד דברה קירותי והמליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן ועלמה ויאמרו amen.
The Amidah for Friday night is silent. It begins on page 47. I invite you to use the words in the book, or just as well to close the book and to use the words in your own heart.
Shalom Rab ala Yisrael amecha ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Shalom Rab ala Yisrael amecha ta'asim כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב ישראל עמך ועל כל יושבי תבל. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תעשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם יגדל ויגדש שמי רבה בעמד דברה קירותי, בהמליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביום יחון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגאולה בזמן קריב וימרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקודשה. ברכו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלם אבימירו, אמן. תקבל תפילות ההון וביטחון דכל ישראל, כל דם אבהון דבישמיה וימירו, אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, וימירו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ויאמרו amen.
You can take your seats for a moment. You know, there's always two versions of everything that an educator prepares. You prepare the version for if you need to speed up, and you prepare a version for if the chicken needs 10 more minutes. The chicken needs 10 more minutes, and so we'll do a little text study, huh? As the texts are coming around, let me give you a little bit of context. And actually, before that, because people may be wondering, why am I doing this? I came to hear a different rabbi. Let me give you the rundown of the rest of the evening. We will conclude the service in just a little bit. We will join together for dinner, and then we will go on to our talk from Rabbi Feinstein, which will take place around 7:45. You should also please be counting on coming back tomorrow, where we will have, again, the opportunity to learn with the rabbi. He will be giving the Devar Torah during Shabbos morning services tomorrow, and he'll also be teaching after lunch. So much opportunity for us to learn from Rabbi Feinstein, but before we do, just a little bit with me. The Torah portion for this week is Chaye Sarah, the life of Sarah. There are two major themes in this parsha, love and death. We decided to divvy them up. He's taking love, I'm taking death. Is what it is, I guess. You defer to seniority. No, but seriously, these are my two favorite things to talk about. I'm a rabbi. And there's some really beautiful Torah that comes particularly out of the first couple of lines of the Parsha Chaye Sarah. Chaye Sarah means the life of Sarah, and famously begins by saying, and Sarah died. She was 127 years old. She dies in Kiryat Arba and is buried in the cave of Machpelah in Hebron, where quite a number of you were just last week on the Israel trip together with CSP. And there's a lot, obviously, to say about what it means to title a parsha the life of somebody when it begins with their death. There are, of course, many spiritual and there are many explanations and conversations to be had about what life after death looks like in Judaism. I am not the expert in that. The expert in that is sitting in the room. But we have, on this page, two texts from two thinkers who really typically wouldn't sit together so much. You would think of them on kind of opposite sides of a spectrum, one from the Blavitcher Rebbe, one from Rabbi Harold Schulweis, each reflecting on a different kind of eternity. an eternity that's not in a different plane of existence, but an eternity that lives right here and right now. I invite you to turn to the person or people next to you and to take just 3 or 4 minutes to read these texts aloud and to have a conversation together about whether this vision of eternity speaks to you, how it's reflected in your own experience. Take just 3 or 4 minutes to study together. Take another 30 seconds to just finish up a thought. And let's hear just from a few people if there's a particular phrase or image or idea that pops out from either of these texts that feels particularly true and resonant to you. Love to hear just a few voices. Please, Andy.
What matters to me the most is, and we all have the responsibility
Beautiful. What does it look like to leave a legacy? That's so much true of your grandparents, of your grandfather Harry and of Marcia. Beautiful, thank you. Was there a particular phrase, idea, something here that resonated? Batya.
What came to mind was, how we always say, I'm becoming just like my mother. Or how you absorb, all those values and principles and you carry them. So they live on inside,
Yeah.
in the same way. So they pass will spread.
I remember driving home from the first time Anne met my parents, and she looked at me and said, "It all makes sense." Thank you. Was there one or two others? Yeah, please. How so, Paul? How is this like how do you connect this to your parents? That conservation of moral energy. I love that concept, right? That it's a law of the universe that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed and transformed over the course of time. That goodness follows that same law. That love follows that same law. It continues to exist. It just transforms in form. Thank you so much. And one more voice. Please, please. Faulkner was not a Jew, but this is the most Jewish thing ever. Right? The past is never dead. It's not even past. For a people who every year say, "I left Egypt," we don't ever have a past. I want to link this back. Thank you for everything people shared. I want to link this back to the other theme of the Parsha, which is love. Under the chuppah, we have 7 blessings that we say, and they're unusual if you look at them closely, because the 7 blessings actually have very little to say about the 2 people standing there. Instead, the blessings go back and forth between talking about creation and the first love that ever was, and redemption, a world which is entirely redeemed in love. And by going back and forth, by dancing between these 2 poles, the beginning and the end, they situate the couple as the bridge, as the link between the beginning and the end, as the product of all of the love that led up to them, the echo of all of the goodness that made them each individually possible, and as a Vorspeis, as a taste of the future. Another link on the ongoing chain. We are the product of all of the love that brought us here. And we are, if we live our lives well, the beginning of a bridge to a world that can ultimately be redeemed in love. We'll bring our service together with Elenu. Please rise on page 56.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים. לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומשה בקרוב בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומי. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשיבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד. על כן נגבה לך אדוני אלוהינו לראות מרבי תפארת וזך להעביר גלים מן הארץ ועלים קורות יקרות. שדה בני מחוב בשרי שמך להפנות אליך לאנשי הארץ, כי לא ידעו בכל שביתם, כי לך תקרא לו. לפניך אדוני ומי עד תמלוך בכבוד. כך כתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Once again, Kaddish is on page 58. We stand in testimony to the idea that people die, but love never does. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei Rabba, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudisha b'richu, le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbachata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hui aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. We'll close in a moment with song. Again, thank you all for being here. We will have dinner after the service, and then at about 10 to 8, we will head over to the Family Life Center, where we'll have the opportunity to learn with Rabbi Feinstein. You absolutely do not want to miss it.
Before we close, I'd like to say shalom aleichem, to Shabbat Shalom, to our friends at Heritage Point who wanted to be with us tonight and had an outbreak of COVID and couldn't come, so they're joining us online. Shabbat Shalom to you. We miss you.
Just so there's no worry, because there's people, the rabbi has COVID. They canceled the service, and so they're joining us virtually.
Got it.
The residents are all fine.
All right. Thank you for clarifying.
They better worry about their mother.
Shalom aleichem, malachi hasharet, malachi elyon, mi melech malchi hamlachim, kadosh baruch hu. Boachem leshalom, malachi hashalom, malachi elyon, mi melech malchi hamlachim, kadosh baruch hu. Baruchuni. Zeitchem leshalom, malachi hashalom, malachi elyon, mi melech malchi hamlachim, kadosh baruch hu. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. If you can make your way over to the tables, there are some tables that are lacking some chairs. If you would help us to make sure that there are chairs around all the tables, that would be greatly appreciated. We'll make Kiddush together and then open up for dinner.
Yeah. Sorry. There's a pandemic of COVID happening at this point. It is ground zero for COVID.
Sorry.
All right. The food smells good. Smells amazing, I guess. The food smells amazing. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna find my children's. Believe me, I've done worse. I've done way worse.
You know what I mean?
No, but the point of that just being that it's a small thing, but it has ripples that continue forever, that beyond what I can know. That's